especial esta noche para las organizaciones jóvenes, para líderes, también para trabajadores de la región 19, de la organización de la Organization, y también para los board retrievers, en la ciudad de Argentina. This match is brought to you by Pizza Productions, Entertainment and Event Management, based right here in Los Ángeles. Este partido es traído a ustedes por cortesía de Pizza Productions, una compañía de entretenimiento y manejo de eventos basada aquí Yellow card for Chile. Para el jugador chileno número 20, Charles Aranguis, al minuto 7.
buena, buena. Buena, guacho. Bien, Apolo, bien, bien, bien. Solo, solo, solo.
Just give the ball to the very talented players that you have in front of you, and you just be a physical presence in the back line. And oh, by the way, because of the injury to Aymeric Laporte and John Stones, Nicolas Otamendi is going to feature a whole lot more than I think he would have this year had those guys been healthy.
Yep. Played 3 of the 4 games so far, as well as the Community Shield as Otamendi. City. 31 years of age. Made his debut for the international side 10 years ago.
I think sometimes he gets into trouble unnecessarily. He can be a little clumsy and rash in his challenges, making it more difficult for him than it should be.
Argentina almost looking penetrating here. A lot of talented technical players out there in the attacking positions. Or one of them, Lo Celso certainly one of them. Skipped away nicely from Zagal. He can play again. Argentina getting into their running. Still going as well. Joaquin Correa had a very good start to his season with Lazio. Scored once in their opening 2 games.
And while the sequence didn't amount to much in the end, it's a beautiful build-up by Argentina through the midfield. 1 and 2 touches. Great skill by Giovanni Lo Celso, leaving Zagal behind. And then Joaquin Correa from the outside looking to combine. Good individual skill, good ability. In the end, the ball just gets away from him and allows Chile to cut out the danger.
It's one way to stop the throw coming down the line. Smashed back for a goal kick for Argentina. We saw just on a replay confirmation that Paulo Dybala has become the 3rd player cautioned this evening for indiscretion involving encroachment.
Little give and go between Joaquin Correa and Nicolas Tagliafico in an advanced position. Just that last touch gets away from him. A little bit of filth by Lo Celso, says Angelo Zagal. See you later, take care, thanks for coming.
Correct here from Argentina. Lautaro Martinez was sure that he was fouled. Lucas Martinez again coping well in that back line. Things well enough early on here. Rodrigo de Paul. Chelsea was an option. Chile in their typical dogged way in midfield, breaking things up. Alexis Sanchez looking down the line. Ball did go out before Pinares could bring it back.
While we have spoken at length about Argentina and some of the challenges that they have ahead of them, Chile similarly have some issues themselves.
Certainly got some issues here thanks to Martinez. Oh, just looked to have a little shove as he took aim. Opportunity was there for him to cross the ball.
He does well initially, Lautaro Martinez. The flick on and then the touch. But once he gets around the defender, you're thinking maybe he takes Diaz on a 1v1 situation, but doesn't quite do enough with it. And Paulo Diaz was very well in cutting out the angle, utilizing his strength, unbalancing Lautaro Martinez. Eventually the ball goes out wide. We were mentioning Chile. Here's a team that is in need of a transition as well. Getting new faces. Can't just depend on Alexis Sanchez and Vidal and Gary Medel and Charles Aranguiz. And at some point, you have to have new talent that comes in and pushes you to a different level. But those transitions are never easy because that older generation is going to hang on to the possibility of playing for the national team as long as they possibly can.
talking about that chemistry over a period, didn't they? The golden generation, as it proved to be. It's very tempting for coaches, successive coaches, not to break that up, especially when your job's on the line and results basically dictate. The ball showing battling qualities there. Benares is the guilty party.
Cesar Pinares gets there late, makes contact with Rodrigo de Paul. And the complaint coming from the Argentina bench is that this is the second slide tackle by Pinares, the second bad tackle he has had in the game. And I must say, I agree with him.
There's no holding back, is there? So early in the season as well. In fact, a lot of the club managers or club staff who are scouting their players on international duty, wincing at some of the tackles going in. They look to get their players back with a clean bill of health after this week. There's Rueda. Nice work from Paredes. Bala, he's got that through. Chelsea. He's found Lautaro, beautiful, back to Dybala, wonderful save from Claudio Bravo. The veteran on his return to Chile's goal, stopping Argentina in the most fluent way possible.
It's just gorgeous build-up from Argentina, a lot of splitting balls. Initially Dybala finding Lo Celso with time and space in that final third, a little give-and-go action with Lautaro Martinez, hold-up play by Lautaro Martinez, and then Dybala, third man running, getting a clear chance on goal with his left foot. Wing contact, but not enough to get past Claudio Bravo. Good save.
36 years young, Bravo. Another late challenge. Lo Celso feeling the effects of it. The ball leading the protest, hoping for more action.
Well, it's a nasty one. It's a nasty one. That's all you can say. And Aranguis was already on a yellow card. The complaint is, look, man, it's a nasty challenge. It should be a second yellow card, regardless of whether this is a friendly or not. Kidding me? That in itself is a red card. That in itself, just by itself, is a red card. Never mind the fact that Charles Aranguis was already on a yellow card. He should no longer be on the field.
Marufo's missed that, hasn't he? Despite giving the free kick.
I have no doubt that at the very least should have been the second yellow. But even without being the second yellow, it should have been a straight red card.
Argentina gets on with it. Charles Aranguis, very fortunate indeed. There he is. Argentina certainly see the target on his back now. And serious damage to Giovanni Lo Celso.
It's a terrible tackle by Charles Aranguis. Over the top of the ball is the definition of endangering an opponent. No question in my mind that it should have been a red card. I think I made that clear, right?
I think so.
All right. Okay. Good.
No VAR out there, of course.
Wait, I'm going to tell you. It doesn't even matter that there is no VAR. That's a call that Jair Marrifo should be able to see and see very clearly. That's how bad a challenge it was.
That's the thing. If you've seen the other 3 yellow card offences so far tonight, how on earth has he missed that one as a clear red? Still hobbling. Lo Celso. Just wonder whether common sense would dictate bringing him off. Bravo. Pulling off the one save from Dybala so far. Still Chile 0, Argentina 0. 26.5 minutes gone at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Long ball looking for Alexis Sanchez. Cleverly trying to nod it back to the perimeter of the box. Waiting for something to fall. Need to get themselves organised defensively. Chile, 3 runners. Can't quite quicken the play. Good break up of the play though. Claudio Baeza, the debutant. Battling again over there. He's won it back for Chile. Sebastian Vegas, who, like Baeza, plays club football in Mexico. Morelia. Sagal wins his side a free kick. That's what Otamendi thinks of it.
Jair Marrufo is in danger of just losing this game altogether and losing the control. Players are continuously getting more and more frustrated. The benches are not helping, and all the information that you're getting is the referee's not doing his job, and then you see the tackle by Charles Aranguiz, and it's just confirmation that you're not trusting what the calls are coming from Jair Marrufo.
Chilean free kick, away by Tagliafico. Back to Baeza, spots the run. More good defending from Tagliafico. Bravo happy to come a long way from home. Martinez, a bit fortunate to get away with that. Handball against Eduardo Vargas.
It's a missed clearance by Lucas Martinez. Cuarta. A good call by Jair Marrufo. Clearly a handball.
Chile's first ever win against Argentina, arriving in 1959, as mentioned, nearly 50 years after they first played them. The 37th meeting. They won 4-2 in a friendly in Santiago, only ever beating them 8 times, including penalty shootout wins. There have been 2 of those, of course, in recent memory, which is why 2 successive Copa America victories through penalties, enough to lift the trophy, so lavishly savoured. For all sorts of reasons, but not least because they delivered those first 2 major trophies to the national team, changed their outlook and how they were seen by many on the continent and beyond. Why the failure to reach Russia 2018 was such a disappointment.
Which then you would think would have been a perfect opportunity to start some of that transition that we were talking about earlier. So you failed to make the World Cup. Now you have to start looking at what the next project is going to be and what players are going to be part of that next project. They hung on to some of those players for the last Copa America. Are they going to do the same for the next Copa America and for World Cup qualifying?
A real battle down that side. There's Tagliafico keeping tags on Angelo Sagal.
Good defending by Tagliafico. Sagal strong enough to earn himself a corner kick.
One of those players pretending to be a major part of this Chilean team. 18th cap tonight. He's got 26 years of age, coming into his prime. Over 18 Paul battling over there. Decision goes his way as well. Paul, a very interesting player for whom it hasn't quite worked out at club level, but still certainly rated by his national team manager. His club football with Udinese, previously at Valencia. They let him go for just €3 million a couple of years ago now.
The interesting thing about Rodrigo de Paul is you don't quite know exactly what his best position is. With his makeup, you would think he would be sort of an outside guy with speed that could take players on, than the right-hand side, than the left-hand side. And even though he has enough pace to get around the corner, he's not an up-and-down guy. But not clean enough to be a player through the midfield, through the middle of midfield where he can pick out a pass. So it's a little bit of a tweener, and that's really how he plays with Argentina. Sometimes he's inside, sometimes he's on the outside, but rarely do you see him really joining in the attack or really defending for Argentina in situations where he has to cut out the danger.
Lo Celso seems to have recovered from that terrible challenge from Aranguiz. Correa, inside is Paredes. Ball in the right back, Gonzalo Montiel. Montiel goes for the return. Nice looking delivery as well. It was hung up there. Diaz had to wait for it to fall onto his head. Nina hoping to attack it. Ball a little bit loose. Lo Celso helps him out. Here's Montiel again. Ball once more. Just taking a moment to assess which direction he wanted to go. Nice work again from Argentina. Montiel down the line for De Paul. Certainly the more composed with the ball at their feet so far, Ali.
Argentina has been much the better team over the first 34 minutes or so. And in that very sequence, we just saw Rodrigo de Paul taking that loose touch in the middle of midfield, losing possession, doing enough to get the possession back, then getting the ball in a situation where maybe he can go in a 1v1 situation, but doesn't do that.
Here he has a chance to deliver at the far post. Hit it behind by Opazo. Correa waiting to steal in.
And it's just a good example of what I mean when I say he's a tweener. He's either an outside guy or clean enough to be an inside guy. But Lionel Scaloni feels that he's an important part of his project. And to be fair to Rodrigo de Paul, he was one of the few highlights from Argentina in the Copa America.
Featured in every game, started 5 of those. Coming off his best season so far, last year domestically with Udinese as well. That was Lautaro Martinez.
Martinez does well in getting away from his defender. Alfonso Parot showing good strength to get ahead of the defender, but doesn't do enough with the header.
10 minutes to the break. Still goalless between the great rivals. Montiel. All the way back to Augustin Marquezin, winning only his 5th cap for the national team tonight. Of Correa for the goal kick. Correa, like De Paul, 25 years old. Correa was 25 last month, in fact. Got his debut under Jorge Sampaoli. Of course, previously occupied that man's position rather gloriously, hurting his country of birth. The first of those 2 Copa America triumphs earned in Santiago, before Chile followed it up a year later under the Spaniard Pizzi in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Pizzi paying for Chile's failure to reach Russia 2018, losing his job at the end of qualifying. Bravo, last playing in that final qualifier, now back with his national team to bring some steadiness. They look to say Ale to make some more transitions in outfield positions, try and get them ready for next Copa America next summer, and the path, I hope, will lead completely to Qatar 2022.
Mentioned Claudio Bravo. We said earlier that there have been some reports. Part of the reason that he hasn't been back to the national team, outside of his injury and maybe a new manager, maybe they're moving in a different direction, is that there may have been a little back and forth, a little falling out with some of the big names in the Chilean national team. Talking about Arturo Vidal and Gary Medel, maybe even Alexis Sanchez, but in particular the name of Arturo Vidal is brought up quite often. Claudio Bravo addressed some of those concerns earlier in the week, and he says there are no issues, and he looks forward to having a conversation with Arturo Vidal to clean everything up and make sure that they're all concerned about the one thing that matters, and that is for Chile to get good results. Now that's easier said than done. And oh, by the way, everybody would say exactly the same thing leading up to a national team game.
Here's Sanchez. Laid behind Aranguiz, but it's been helped back by Montiel. Picked up once again by Chile. Aranguiz. Baeza. Charles Aranguiz again. Linking nicely. Bananas. Aranguiz. First bit of work. Marquezine does his job for Argentina. Kept clean sheets in 3 of his 4 appearances for the national team.
Fortunate bounce for Charles Aranguiz, and Chile off of the feet of Tagliafico. Eventually falls to Aranguiz's left foot. Hits it well, but a comfortable height for Agustin Marquezine, able to make the save.
Chile's first serious sight of Argentina's boasts. Back come Argentina with the ball. And another flighted delivery. Bazo could deal with those all day. Under no challenge, the right back.
A little bit of the issues for Argentina is that sometimes when you get players in wider areas, in this case was Rodrigo de Paul, not enough numbers going into the box. It was only Joaquin Correa, Lautaro Martinez was trailing the play, and Pablo Dybala was nowhere near the 18-yard box.
Otamendi and Correa, the most sizable targets up there. Lucas Martinez is also in. So Martinez Quarto, who tried to get it turned goalwards. There'll be another corner earned by Dybala. Another moment to threaten for Argentina then, as we approach half-time. Correa looking to shake his marker. Far post was Otamendi. Bravo had to take action, or he felt he had to. The referee's whistle comes to his aid in any case.
I suppose you can call the foul on Luca Martinez Cuarta, although he has every right to just stand his ground. But usually the goalkeepers in that situation get the benefit of the doubt.
The ball. Looking for movement off him. Just all a little flat for Argentina. Another free kick though awarded to them. Another player down. Paredes it is.
Once again, the complaint from the Argentina bench. Now they're keeping track and account of the Pinares fouls. We're up to 3 of bad ones, and yet Pinares, no issues whatsoever. Jair Marrufo does not deem it enough for a yellow card, not even by accumulation of fouls. Or as referees call it, persistent infringement.
Not persistent enough.
Apparently not.
Recollection. Paredes takes the free kick which he won. Lo Celso under pressure from Pinares again, snapping. A flick almost giving Tagliafico something to chase. It'll be a throw into Argentina. More scampering in the Chile back line. Time from the left back Alfonso Barot. Argentina finishing the half with their tails up. Any moment to celebrate though, not this time. Because Martinez Cuarta getting the ball up as far as the ball, and now some room from Gonzalo Montiel. Cross has to be decent, it is. Lo Celso! Lovely effort.
If you're not going to have an outside presence in wide areas, then you have to have overlapping runs by the outside backs. And in this case, Gonzalo Montiel, first time that we see him joining in the attack. Good ball to the far post. Lo Celso comes across the ball. Didn't seem like Claudio Bravo was all too comfortable. Didn't quite read it very well. Not the cleanest contact by Lo Celso, but if it's inside the post, I don't know that Bravo gets there. He was late to react to the contact of Lo Celso.
Striking position, just let him down, didn't it? He was a yard or so the other way. That's less than clean contact. We've seen the ball spin towards the inside of the post. Now the pushing and shoving. As we reach the 45th minute, Marrufo wants control of the ball before he takes any further action.
He may want to control the players, never mind the ball.
When in doubt, give me the ball. It's my ball. I'm taking it with me. Again, deems it necessary not to take any action.
The complaint is that Edu Vargas is playing while he's on the ground, and Luca Martinez Cuarta takes the chance and the opportunity to go ahead and kick the ball out of the feet of Edu Vargas.
There's no added time. Maybe that's the best policy here for Jair Marrufo. He's had a difficult first 45 minutes in charge at the Coliseum here. There's no give between either of the defences so far, but Argentina certainly enjoying the better part of the chances in that first half. Paulo Dybala bringing a really good save out of the recalled Claudio Bravo. At the other end, Aranguiz forcing a save out of Agustin Marquesin. 0-0 between Chile and Argentina at half-time. Stay with us here on ESPN. We'll be back. Best of the half next.